A long time ago, in the heart of Ibadan, lived the Adebajo family, a peaceful house where rice and drama cooked side by side. But peace is relative because in that household was one thorn in human form. Her name was Tanny. She was the last born. The official chop but don't drop. The commander-in-chief of I won't give you, but you must give me brigade. Tanny was 18, but she had the face of a shrub and the heart of a cashless ATM. Her cornrows were always neat, and her voice was soft like soaked agege bread. But behind that angelic face lived a girl who would rather faint than share her meat. The Adebajo children were four in number. There was Shade, the eldest, who was the quiet eye of the storm. She's 25, always composed and always calculating, with that tired firstborn energy of someone who had once tried to raise her siblings like a mother and gave up halfway through. Her job in a microfinance bank had taught her patience. But Tanny tested that patience like MTN network on rainy days. Then there was Kore, the only son and the second born. He was 23 and he was a mechanic by day and a conspiracy theorist by night. He could fix your car and debate government policy. He's very jovial and very loud. Then there was Kahintola, the third born. She was the bubbling pot of wahala and vibes. She was 20, slim and stylish, sharp-mouthed, and she was studying fashion designing at a local studio. She was also a makeup artist. She didn't need a diary. She narrated everything out loud. And then there was the thorn in their flesh, Tanny, the last born, who was 18, unemployed and unbothered. A girl with the eyes of a saint and the mouth of a basket. Her real talent was gossip and beg. Her mouth had no filter, no brakes, and definitely no conscience. She was the family's unofficial news channel, the kind that aired unverified stories with reckless confidence. So, one hot Sunday afternoon, everyone was at home, lounging on the sofas in the sitting room, watching an old Yoruba film where the Babalawo kept shouting what I don't know for 10 minutes straight. Then, Peintola, the third born and the fashion student, came in from her makeup side hustle, holding a takeaway pack from one of her clients' events. The smell of jollof rice and fried goat meat filled the room like anointing oil at a revival service. "Ah, you brought food?" Shade asked, sitting up with hope in her eyes. "Yes, so the bride was so kind," Peintola said, smiling. "Oh yeah, open it now," Corey added. Peintola dropped it like treasure on the center table and began to peel the cover slowly, like she was unveiling a car on Instagram. But before anyone could blink, Tanny was already holding a spoon. She didn't even wait for Fehimtola, the owner, to take her portion. She was already taking charge. Let me just taste small jollof. I'm fasting, but rice doesn't really break fast like that," Tanny said, shoveling a heap of rice into her mouth with the urgency of a woman in an eating competition. Shade blinked. Tanny, now what for you? When did you reach here, sef? "Don't mind her. Wait, don't touch that big meat, Ore warned her. "No, big. I only want the small piece, so I'm not greedy," Tanny lied. Meanwhile, her eyes were already locked on the biggest chunk. Then, with the speed of light, she grabbed the big meat, shoved everything into her mouth, and began to chew with speed. And her eyes was dancing around like a thief, expecting to be arrested. By the time they dragged the spoon back from her, the food had vanished. Meanwhile, Tanny took off, running for her life, while Kore chased after her immediately. Later that evening, Mama Shade came home from church fellowship, looking tired, with her Bible peeping out from her handbag. Ehintola was in the corridor doing TikTok dance with her ring light. Shade was upstairs pressing phone. Kore was watching Arsenal disgrace him again. But what of our dear Tanny? She had gone to her mother's room and was waiting patiently for her to come inside. Mommy, there's something I need to tell you. But please, don't tell them I said it oh. She began, kneeling beside her mama's bed like a prayer warrior. Mama turned sharply. Tanny, what happened? Mama, it's Fahintala oh. She posted a picture on Instagram. Do you know that all her cleavages was out? Hey, can you imagine, Mama? People were even saying she's doing makeup. I saw it now. I saw the comment section. Mama dropped her Bible. Dami oh, hook up, ke? Yes, ma. I didn't want to say it oh, but I just felt like, as the last born, I must protect the dignity of this family. You understand? So, before nightfall, Ehintola had received a 14-paragraph WhatsApp sermon from Mama, including 5 Bible verses and one threat to go and delete that post, or else she will see the other side of her mother. When Ehintola stormed into the room shouting, "Who told her? Who told Mama?" Tanny was humming gospel songs carelessly, acting oblivious. Shade whispered to Kore, "This girl is a demon in cornrow." Kore replied, "And the most annoying part is that she's not only a freaking unemployed and unpaid local newscaster. Now she's still the beg pass. Very ugly combination. You are a beggar and you are a gossip." Because indeed, Tanny never gives. But her beggy game is on a championship level. If you buy pizza, she wants 10 bites. If you buy gala, can I just hold the nylon and smell it? If you buy Coke, please let me help you finish it now. You know cold things are not for you. And it has gas so. But anytime she buys her own, even if it is just one piece of biscuit she's holding, she will hide it inside her wrapper like a criminal smuggling contraband across the border. Well, by next week, tension in the Adebajo house had reached its boiling point. Not just because of Tanny's beggy and greed, but the real pain now was Tanny's gospel ministry. Because every time Tanny opened her mouth, someone was about to get reported and punished. She wasn't just a gossip. She was a full-blown broadcast station. No, scratch that. She was the entire DSTV company. And this time, she didn't just whisper to Mama, she had evidence. She forwarded screenshots. Well, after Fahintola's cleavage saga, another one was Kore's girlfriend. Kore had begged everyone in the house not to tell Mama about Ronke, his sweet babe that sold hair extensions at Dubai. I know Mama will overreact. Let's just wait more, beg. I know when to tell her. Please, nobody should tell her. He had warned his siblings. So, everybody agreed. Well, everybody except one human being with fine cornrows and a long mouth for amebo. That evening, Mama was in her room folding wrappers when Tanny entered with wholly suspicious gossip. "Mommy, there's something I saw on Facebook, but I don't want to disturb you." Mama squinted and asked, "What is it?" Tanny opened her phone like she was about to reveal a prophecy. Then she said, "Mommy, look at this girl. Look at her very well. This is the same girl Kore always chats with. See how she's dressed, like a Jezebel. She even has tattoo. See, She has tattoo. She has 2 piercings. Ah! Mama gasped. Edami o. Tattoo ke. Mama, see her comments. My baby boo always spoils me. Tell me, Mama, is it not courage she's talking about? It is definitely courage she's talking about. Because Cora is her boo. Anyway, I just felt like you should be aware. Oh. I just like protecting the dignity of this family. You know I can't keep secrets from you now. Eh, Mama? Mama opened her mouth in shock and said, Mogba, girlfriend ke. Thank you, my child. God will reward your honesty. By 9 p.m. that night, Mama busted into the sitting room where Kore was watching Premier League. Kore de, Ma, who is Ronke? And immediately, the TV volume was lowered to the barest minimum. Kore de froze. The mood in the house became very tense. Then, Kehintola and Shade exchanged a knowing look of it had happened again. Tanny, the informant, had struck again like a baby witch. After Mama finished her sermon about ungodly women and waist beads and tattoos and piercings, Kore entered Shade's room and slammed the door. Boy, she's mad. That girl is mad. Which one again? Shade asked. Tanny now. Who else? I confided in all of you about Ronke. I begged. I pleaded that you all keep your mouth shut. Kehintola then entered and said, I knew she would tell Mama. Whoa. Kore nodded, pacing like a man whose goats had escaped. And wait, it is still this same Tanny that told Mama last month that Shade borrowed huge amount of money from Tunji without telling Mama. Shade hissed. Yes, so. And that same week, Mama sent me 3-paragraph text about accountability and trust. Kore clapped his hand. Ah, that girl's cup is almost full. That girl's cup is almost full. What a menace. Kehintola said, you know what? Enough is enough. If we don't act now, one day, she will fabricate and report that we are planning to kill Mama. Shade sat up straight and said, yes, so we need to do something sharp. Kore's eyes narrowed. Let's serve her of gist. No, now, Kehintola replied. Yes, I know gist is an oxygen, but let's take it up a notch. How? I suggest we cut her off completely. No food, no updates, no friendliness, no help, no sharing, no soft life. We'll just act as if she doesn't exist in this house. Kore then smiled from ear to ear and said, Operation Kofutani. Shade whispered the name like a sacred vow. Yes, so no sharing for the snitch. But will she notice? Kore asked. Yes, now, she will beg and beg because Tanny cannot survive on her own. She literally needs help with everything. They all laughed. Outside the door, Mama was eavesdropping, tilting her head like her neck was almost breaking. She had overheard everything. She stood there for a moment, quietly digesting the plan. Then she smiled. Not because she approved their plan per se, but the smile was that of a tired mother who had finally decided to let reality slap her lastborn so that she can grow. She go learn, Mama muttered and walked off. She had blessed the plan silently and she was on board. Who would have thought? From the moment the siblings agreed on Operation Kofutani, something shifted in the house. The way Shade looked at Tanny changed. Kore no longer greeted her with his usual playful teasing. Even Kehintola, the loudest and the most dramatic one, had gone strangely quiet around her. Well, Tanny didn't notice immediately. But the first blow came on one Thursday afternoon. Feyintola returned from another bridal makeup job with a food tray in her hand, steaming hot jollof rice, grilled chicken, puff puff, and a bottle of iced zobo. The aroma alone could wake a sleeping goat. As she dropped the tray on the table, Shade walked in from work, sweaty and tired. Feyintola didn't even say much. She just opened the tray, picked up disposable plates from the side cupboard, and dished for herself and Shade. Ore came in a few minutes later. His shirt was soaked from sun and Okada dust. She served him too. So now there was 3 well-balanced plates of yumminess. Tanny sat in the corner on the arm of the chair. Her eyes was following every movement, pretending to scroll on her phone. She was already standing and waiting to be served. But nothing came. Auntie Feyintola, won't you serve mine? She called out gently. Feyintola looked at her. Ah, Tanny, sorry, this one was ordered per head. The bride counted us as only 3. Tanny blinked in shock. Okay, you just give me one puff puff now. Ore cut in with a calm voice. Puff puff don't finish. You just a sip of zobo then. Shade replied, well, I don't share drinks since I have sore throats. Tanny watched as they sat around the tree, eating, laughing, and nodding to one soft music playing on Kore's phone. Nobody even looked at her again. So she stood up quietly and went to her room, feeling very, very low. The next day, Kore returned home with takeaway packs. One of his regular customers had invited him to service her husband's car during a surprise birthday. The woman packed him food to thank him. 3 packs, neatly tied and well portioned. He didn't tell anybody. He just dropped the packs one by one into the fridge with clear masking tape. And then he labeled Kore, Feyintola, Shade. Tanny opened the fridge around 6 p.m, searching for leftover stew or anything that she could eat. When she saw the labeled packs, she shut the fridge slowly and stood there for a long moment. She didn't even seem out to talk. That same weekend, an even stronger blow came. Mama entered with a small package. It was a surprise order of Ankara fabric someone had delivered from Lagos. Bright blue and lemon yellow. Beautiful, Shade shouted. Kore was so boba. Then you girls can do 2-piece or gown, Mama said, as they spread the fabric on the table. Tanny came out, yawning. This cloth is fine, she said, touching the edge. Mama turned to her and said, you can admire it, no problem. But this one is for those of you that behave. Tanny's eyes widened. Mommy. Feyintola smiled proudly. Yes, you heard her. Tanny stood there for a moment, then hissed and stormed back to her room. By Sunday, all 3 siblings had worn their matching Ankara. Feyintola tied hers into a short flare gown. Shade wore hers with palazzo trousers and white heels. And Kore rocked his boba with jeans like a Nollywood actor. They all stood in front of the gate, taking pictures, laughing and posing. Tanny watched from the window. Nobody called her to join. Nobody explained anything. Nobody even asked if she wanted to follow them to the event. Before now, Tanny had never lacked anything. Not because she had much, but because somehow her siblings always filled in the gaps. Airtime, food, transport fare, data, small money for lip gloss, name it. They always gave jobless Tanny even when they weren't smiling while doing it. And at the other times when they didn't give, she would simply nag and sulk or snitch her way into their wallets. But now, she was alone. They were done with that. At first, it didn't bother her. After all, she was the baby of the house. She believed her siblings were just catching crews. They would soon snap out of it and return to their senses. But one by one, her comfort started crumbling. The one that pained her very well was her charger. The day her charger head suddenly sparked one afternoon as she was scrolling through Instagram. She tried twisting it, bending it, praying in tongues, but nothing happened. Her phone dropped from 14% to 3%, like it was in a race to die. Normally, this wouldn't have been a problem now. Corey had like 5 chargers, and Feintola had a fast charger she protected like gold. But if you knelt down and said please in the right tone, she might agree. But when Tanny asked, with the softest voice she could find, Feintola didn't even turn. Eh? Your charger spoiled? Yeah. Chai. Poor thing. You fit go plug am under sun, sha. Maybe go collect light spiritually, Feintola said casually. Ah! Tanny felt so terrible. She moved to Kore, who acted like he didn't hear her. And then she moved to Shade, who said, check if the charging port is the problem. Maybe it's not the wire. As for mine, it's in use. And that was it. Nobody offered her anything. And her phone died by evening. She still beat herself on the chest and chested it, feeling like a strong girl her siblings cannot shake. But in all honesty, this one pain am well, sha. But she charged it at school the next day. In the staff office, she sat beside the secretary's desk for 2 full hours, pretending to be reading while waiting for 30% battery. Tanny was having the worst days and nobody seemed to care. Not even her bestie, Mama. It was that same week she came back from school late one day, hungry, tired and frustrated. She has missed the bus, trekked halfway down the road and bought akara with her last 100 naira. When she got home, the whole house was glowing. Not just with light, but with energy. They had cooked spaghetti and goat meat. Spaghetti that was steaming hot. Goat meat that had crunch and enough juice. And it was the male goat meat though, the type that you could perceive from miles and miles away. Too close yet too far. Chai, the kind of meal that comes with joy. So Tanny entered the sitting room and greeted everybody, trying to maintain steeze and to be very demure. Corey was watching football with a mouth full of pasta. Shade was licking her fingers from pieces in stewed goat meat. Feintola had already finished her portion and was now sipping her drink slowly like someone that just collected her inheritance. Tanny sat down quietly and after a while she cleared her throat and said, Is there any food left? Nobody answered. She turned to Feintola and said, Tola, I'm really hungry. Tola opened her eyes like someone that was just waking up. You didn't eat in school? No, I didn't. And I trekked back home because I missed the bus. Oh, sorry. There's biscuits in the fridge, That dry cookies we made last month. It's still there. And he stared in disbelief. How about Tola? Dry cookies? Now, it's the one that has coconut taste. Sure you like coconut? Corey added. As for Shade, she didn't even look up. She simply said, next time, try and cook before leaving the house. Nobody owes you dinner in this house. You are an adult. That night, Tanny still chested it too, forming strong and unbothered. Mama was out of town, so she soaked plenty garri with only sugar and no milk. She didn't cry, but she didn't sleep either. How could she when hunger was wiring her left, right and center? And just when she thought things couldn't get any worse, her phone got stolen. Yes, it happened during a commotion in school. Some group of boys ran past the class block and in confusion, she left her phone on her desk and ran outside to see what was happening. When she returned, the phone was gone. Otilo. She searched, cried, reported, but nothing came out of it. She came home that evening with swollen face. Mama was in the kitchen frying tomatoes and making stew, while her siblings were watching a Yoruba movie. Tanny stood in front of them and began, "My phone was stolen today." Ha! Nobody said a word at first. They processed it for a while. Then Shade looked up slowly and said, "You still have that piggy bank, Abi?" Tanny blinked in confusion. Uh-huh. Uh-huh now, you can break it. I think I saw 2K there last time. Break it and use it and buy phone. Corey then backed her up with, yeah. Or sell that to your denim jacket. That's one you've been hiding. Sell it and use the money to buy phone. Fahimtola laughed mockingly and said, you people are wicked though. But it's true, Sha. Let your money work for you, my girl. Tanny then turned to her mother and said, "Mommy, please, can you help me buy a small one? Even if it's a button phone. Just something I can use." Mama flipped the tomato calmly, then said without looking at her, "You are a big girl now, Tanny. You will figure it out." Chai! That one touched her. Oh. The way Mama said it, with no emotion, no pet name, and no eye contact. Tanny sat in the corner and pressed her face into her hands. This was when it dawned on her that this wasn't just ordinary silence. So this one was warfare. She was hungry, phoneless, lonely, and no one, not even her own mother, was reaching out to her. Meanwhile, it had been 2 weeks since Tanny's name disappeared from food lists, shopping plans, secret jokes, group photos, you name it. 2 weeks since she begged for puff puff and was given dry biscuit. Chai. Since her siblings started moving through the house like she was part of the wall and not really existing. One Thursday afternoon, something happened. It was a small thing, a box of pizza Shade brought from work. She dropped it on the table and said, "You people can share." Fahimtola opened it and Corey grabbed one slice. Mama even took her own and went inside her room. Then when Tanny came back, sweating from sun and frustration, she had gone to Ikeja under bridge to beg one guy to sell her old Nokia phone for 4,000, but she had only 2-3 in her purse. The guy laughed and told her to go and open a phone museum. So she came home tired, irritated and hungry. When she saw the pizza box, smelt the aroma and saw the melted cheese, her heart lifted small. "Please, can I just take one slice?" she said softly. Fahimtola looked at her. "No vex, I already took the last one." Tanny stared into the box and it was empty, and the only thing that was left was the sound of her siblings chewing joyfully. That was when her legs gave up. She sat on the arm of the chair and covered her face, and then she started to cry. This one was not crocodile tears, real chest-breaking sobs. The kind of cry that makes you forget who is watching. She lost all her steeze and her composure. But nobody spoke, nobody moved. Mama came out of her room with her wrapper tied to the side. She stood in the corridor and looked at her daughter weeping like someone who had lost everything. But she didn't interrupt immediately. They all waited patiently so that she would take accountability of all the troubles she had caused them. After a couple of minutes, Tanny wiped her face and stood up. She walked into the middle of the sitting room, knelt down, and started. "I'm sorry. I am really, really sorry. I know I used to gossip. I know I collected things and never gave. I know I talked too much. I thought it was funny, I didn't know you people were really hot, Everyone still remained silent. "I don't like this version of the house now. I don't like eating alone. I don't like being left out. I don't like when nobody calls my name for anything. I miss us." She broke down and started crying again. They looked at each other. Then Shade spoke, soft but firm. "We begged you, Tanny. We warned you. Even Mama talked, but you didn't hear. Tanny nodded, still kneeling and crying. I know, I didn't listen. I was stubborn. I felt like nothing would ever change. But now I see it. I'm so sorry. Mama finally went to stand beside her. It's because we love you that we stopped tolerating your excesses. If we didn't care, we would have kept petting you until you turned into a problem nobody could manage. Tanny looked up at her with watery eyes. Mama, did you plan this with them? Mama smiled and said, Not really, but I blessed the plan. Tanny gasped, Yes. I heard the night they were planning it, Mama said. I wanted to scatter it too, but something told me, leave it. Let her taste loneliness. Maybe her mouth will close small, and maybe her erudite hand will open small. Tanny hugged Mama, still sobbing. Then Feintola added, We just wanted you to grow. We love you, but we needed to show you pepper so that you can stop dishing it out to others. Then the four siblings joined Mama, and they all hugged in the middle of the parlor, like a broken circle that had finally sealed. Mama stood up and clapped. Family reunion. I love it. Cora raised his hands and proposed. Now, can we break Tanny's phone fasting? Shade smiled and said, I already bought one small Samsung for her birthday. I was waiting for her to repent though. Then she pulled the box and gave it to Tanny. Tanny opened it and burst into fresh tears because this time she truly understood the love and importance of family. And so, Tanny learned the hard way that love is not just about sharing meat and jollof rice. It's about trust, respect, and knowing when to close your mouth. Her siblings didn't beat her. They didn't curse her. They simply turned off the tap of kindness and let her sit in her own silence until the lesson entered with full understanding. From that day forward, she became gentler with her words, quicker to give, and slower to carry news that wasn't hers. The house felt whole again. The end. Moral lesson. This time around, I want to read from my paddies. Kindly let me know the moral lessons you derived from this story. I'll be reading in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this one. I love you, and I'll see you in my next one. Remember, don't let anyone dim your shine. Until next time, Ngwanu, bye.